So now that we've been able to have our player move around the scene, we've bound the spaceship to the actual playable area. The spaceship needs to be able to fire some lasers at the enemies that are going to be coming into the scene. So we're going to go ahead and set that up. First thing is we're going to go back to our scene. I'm going to focus in on our player spaceship here. And I want to go ahead and create a child object that is the fire point at which the laser is going to be created from the actual spaceship. So what I can do here is I can, on the spaceship itself, I can right click, go to 2D object, and then create a sprite. And then we'll just keep this consistent. I'll just use a triangle again. Obviously and we can call this fire point or fire location. I'm going to change the scale because currently this thing is the same size as our spaceship and we don't want that to be the same size, just for referencing points. And then I'm going to change the scale. I'm going to turn on and I'm going to change this to 0.25, and then I'm going to move this so it's just out in front of the actual spaceship itself. And then what I can do is, now that I have that set up, is I'm just going to use this as a temporary projectile that we can go ahead and create. So I'm going to right click in the hierarchy, go to 2D object, or I can go over to the plus, 2D object, sprite, triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and create a projectile. That size that I chose for the fire point, that 0.25, I'm going to go ahead and do that for this one as well. So this is going to be the same size as the fire point, and this is going to fire the object from that location there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here to the side. I could, just so we can see the difference here, I'm going to go ahead and change the color slightly so we know the difference between the two. Whenever you make any changes, go ahead and save your work. And then make sure we're going to go ahead and open up our spaceship scripting file. And we need to create an actual location where that projectile is going to be fired from. So I'm going to create a public, make sure it's a lowercase p, and this will be the transform of our fire point. And then we need to know, well, what are we going to then create here? Writer's given me a suggestion as a bullet prefab. I'm actually going to call this the laser prefab because eventually it'll become a laser beam. And then now here in our update, this is starting to get very cluttered here for our movement. We'll come back and fix some of this later on. But what we're going to do now is that we have this update method that's an event function. I'm going to go just below the method function here. And I'm going to create a movement method that I'm going to take all of this pre-existing code that we created. I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to make a movement method that gets called as we need it. So now our update's out of the way. That's our movement. Now, in order for us to fire the laser, we obviously need to interact with the keyboard itself. We can go with a specific key for firing. So we can go with if, And we can go with the old input system. Say we want to use the space key for firing. So I'm going to grab the input.get key down, and then I'm going to get the key code, which is the space key. And once I've created that, I want to instantiate the laser prefab. That's going to be the game object. So instantiate the laser prefab, which is the blue triangle that I created. I want to create that at that fire point and at the same fire point's rotation, because you may have some rotation built in. You want to keep consistent with that specific location itself. So I'm going to go ahead and save my work on this. Go back to Unity. I'm going to go back to my spaceship, and here in our script, I've got two new variables, my fire point and my laser prefab. Both of these are none. They've not been assigned. So for instance, I can drag the fire point from this location into that spot there. That's one way to do that. I could click on the little target, and it's going to bring up a list of all the game objects that are in my current scene, and I can click the fire point from that location to be assigned. Because we're in the testing phases, this projectile, which currently is in the scene, if I add this as my laser prefab here, for testing, that would be okay just for testing, but eventually we're going to create what they call a prefab so that I can fabricate this object as the game goes on. So I'm going to save my work, go back to Game tab here, and then I'm going to go ahead and play test. So currently, as I move around, you can see that the white location, my fire point, stays with me because it's a child object. So wherever the spaceship goes, so does the fire point. And then there's my projectile just sitting right there. But here in our game, if I press the space key, you see how that turned blue? That is us instantiating a copy of that prefab. So wherever I go, and that's why I wanted to change to blue, so you can see that here it's white, and as soon as I press the space key, it has created a copy of that object for us to go ahead and use. But obviously, if it's a projectile, it should be moving in the forward direction or away from our spaceship. So we need to create a script file to attach to the the projectile, in order for it to move on its own. Currently, it will not do that. We're just creating copies wherever we go. So I'll go ahead and go out of playtest mode. And we need to go ahead and create a script for this. So here in the scripts, so if you don't have this location opened up, go back to your assets, your root folder, and then go to your scripts folder, right click, create a script. I'm gonna go down to mono behavior, and we're gonna call this the spaceship. Projectile, because eventually the enemies that we're going to use, they'll have their own projectile. So we want to make sure the scripting file or class name is specific to this one. And based on that, it looks like I have a spelling error. So I missed the P in space. I can see that here in my Unity inspector that I missed that. So I've not created any code. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that, and then I'm going to recreate it one more time. Make sure I don't miss that, the P in space. Right click, create, mono behavior. Let that compile. I'm going to click on our projectile, and over here, I want to take that spaceship. Now they both have the word spaceship. I can minimize this so I can see them a little bit easier, and I'm going to go with this particular one, the spaceship projectile. And then I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Now for this one here, we need to provide a way, a movement, a speed for this object here. And I'm going to go ahead and say, we'll just go with 10 float on my speed. And then here in the update method, we're going to have this, our spaceship is looking in 2 dimensions. So we're moving and we're looking in the upward direction. So I'm going to do transform dot translate. And we're in a vector 2. And we want this to go in the upward direction times our speed times our time dot delta time. So we're going to reorder this, and we're going to set the time and time dot delta time with speed, reclassify that, and then move it in the upward direction. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, go back to Unity. Go back into playtest mode. And you can see how the original one took off because we added that script file which said, hey, this thing needs to move in the upward direction. Now when I'm moving around, I press the space bar. Now I will be creating those prefabs, and they're going to be moving on their own in the upward direction. But as the more I create, the more clones I've created, and the hierarchy starts to get a little bit cluttered. So we don't want to have all of these here anymore. We want them to be destroyed eventually. If they've gone so far out of the way, we need to go ahead and remove them or destroy them so they're outside the scene. So go ahead and playtest mode. Back to our scripting file. And one other built-in method that Unity has is we can do on become invisible. So on become invisible. That's when that object is no longer visible in the actual scene or the visible scene itself, and then we want to destroy the game object that this script is attached to. Now I know we could go into object pooling and other examples of making the game more robust and clean our code up a little bit. But for this very first project, we're just going to go ahead and keep it simple. We're just going to go ahead and destroy that object once it leaves the scene. I'm going to go ahead and save, go back to Unity, go back to playtest. And right there, that first projectile is no longer there. So as I okay, this is what I wanted to talk about earlier. So now I've got a warning here, is that that particular original prefab went off the scene. I've destroyed it. And if I go back to my spaceship here, it says the laser prefab is missing. That's because we destroyed that object that it was referencing. So that's why we need to make this a prefab. So I'm going to go back to my assets here, and I'm going to make a prefabs folder. Go up to right click, create folder for prefab. And in our prefabs folder, I will take this projectile and I'm going to drag it to the prefabs folder. Once I created a copy, you see how this changes to blue, but the rest of these are gray text. The blue indicates that this is a prefabricated object. The other ones are individual objects. And once you've created your prefab, you can actually remove this. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go back to my spaceship, and I'm going to drag the projectile from the prefabs folder into that location now. Save my work, go to playtest. And as I move around, as I fire a bunch of these, you can see here in the hierarchy, they're starting to get removed. As soon as they leave the scene, those objects are being destroyed and not taking up any space in our hierarchy. So now we have a way to fire a projectile at the oncoming enemies that we may encounter in our game. Next time, we'll go ahead and clean this up and look at the next step in our design.